It's only been in the last 6 months that I looked up Northwoods as far as a Rockefeller entity, and sure enough, it was reinstated along with Landmark Inc., the Landmark America, the Landmark Global, and the Landmark Bundle that was used to hijack the Ohio Farm Bureau. But what's a false flag? It's a covert operation designed to look like it was carried out by another party, often used to blame an enemy, start a conflict, or misdirect responsibility. Planned Communities Inc. was up under Wexner and the New Albany Company, which merges with the New Albany Company, owned by Jeffrey Epstein. There's Northwoods 1, transferring 100% of its mineral rights on military U.S. federal land to Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company. Farmers Bank and Trust that had historically been in the World Trade Center, but reported as being the Thai Farmers Bank and Trust. I know it's an easy, honest mistake. Anybody could do it. It's the Farmers Bank and Trust, and they did Thai and China Farmers Bank of China, which is a Rockefeller shell, newly reinstated as of 1998. The trademark isn't registered until 1999. Yep. So Cumberland Farms, it's actually granted via Landmark by Howard Runyon. And back to Northwoods and all of the false flag tactics that were a part of it, hijacking two commercial airplanes, shooting one down, bombing a federal building, using manipulated identities of the victims on the planes, blaming foreign leaders. Sounds similar to 9/11, doesn't it? Not by chance. Yeah. Ahead of 9/11, among the securities and companies targeted, it's not just nationwide, it's technology as well. And wouldn't you believe Akamai, the CEO, is killed on one of the planes. But the CIA secretly operated a network of insurance entities and retained grain spies in the 1980s, in the 1990s, and again around 2000. Farmers Life had been federally canceled as of 1968. It is reinstated along with Nationwide Life, care of the CIA to maximize profits from 9/11. Here's HCC. Ever hear of it? It's Melvin Bush's company that is claimed to be the head of security of the World Trade Centers, United Airlines, and Dulles International Airport. American Skyline Insurance, what do you think they taken a policy out on? AIG, Gulf Life Insurance. You got to look it up because they take out policies on the Persian Gulf. They take out policies on the Gulf of Mexico. They take out policies on the harbor of New York. And it gets worse and worse and worse. Victoria Insurance goes all the way back to the 1800s. Been canceled and shut down so many times it's not even funny. And they just merged with Nationwide. How is this truly possible? Well, if you go back to 1999, you hear that sound of dial-up. That'll take you way back to 1999. Y2K set the stage for the CIA to reinstate and re-record over legitimate records to siphon the identity and assets pertaining to any trust that had mineral rights left to claim. Many tenants in the World Trade Center are offshore shells, and if you Google a lot of them, they've been either shut down ever since or right before, and it's disgusting. But Landmark Education is one of those shells. Landmark is spliced from the legitimate trademark. That's the supply side of the Farm Bureau. Fireman's Fund, great example. Look them up. They are held guilty of backdating fake insurance policies relating to terrorist events. The Walkers took out insurance policies on the Pentagon, everybody. See that? Yep. The wheat field that was planted by Joyce Schwartz and family. Yeah, the 2-acre landfill in Manhattan. As it turns out, that was a re-recorded record, granting it to Silverstein Farms, and that's Larry Silverstein's portion of the World Trade Center. Westfield Grain, Westfield Mall, it's a fake trademark spliced from the Farmers Insurance Company of Ohio, i.e. the Harrison County Farm Bureau Cooperative. World Trade Center trademark amended to be entertainment relating to a terrorist event on 9/11. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Windows on the World. Windows on the World. It was actually 200 plus people in attendance. It was a risk water event, and they make it seem like it's technology. Something tells me it was agriculture and farm related because many farm agents and farm cooperative owners were missing or stepped down at the turn of the century. Yep. Well, Windows on the World was actually a holding company for Continental. Continental Oil is Standard Oil. Yep. Double Take for Windows is a software program that was used. Isn't it funny? Double Take. Well, Halliburton and Dick Cheney triple dipped. And it's George Bush's brother, Melvin, who oversees security of these entities. And I would love it if anyone can find more than 10 photos of him. And that one's credited to Diana Walker, part of the plot. Why Dulles? Why Dulles? It was his plot. It was the Dulles brothers' plot. And the fact is, he took over the airport covertly as part of this. It was JFK who granted him the Dulles name. Yep, these are just some of the entities, but Northwood Ventures and Nationwide One were always among the top targets of the CIA. Because you can't take over the country and you can't take control of 100% of the mineral rights without hijacking the U.S. Farm Bureau. Guess who absorbed the Washington Land Patent? That'd be the Fireman's Fund. Yeah, Jeffco. Jefferson County, and that's Jeffco. It's his company. Goes way back. It's Jeffrey Justice, i.e. Jeffrey Epstein, who reinstates the American Farm Bureau, historically incorporated by Joe Kennedy, none other, in 2001, ahead of 9/11. Look how many parcels, 58 farms, just clearing them out, separating the minerals from the land, and on the back end, Maxwell and Kerr from the CIA. He promptly liquidates U.S. grain offshore using Sam Roche, aka Sam Dunlap, no different than the 1920s. All land, look at these. These are deeds recorded in every county granting 100% of farm titles to Standard Oil, aka New Albany Company and the Chemical Bank. You're separating the mills from the wells. But Les Wexner and all of the Standard Oil investors, there's several hundred of them out of 9/11, they get $250 to $500 million bonuses to mask royalties. Many of them set up as life insurance policies on people who died. Fake IDs of people who died. Why do you think they're all casualty life insurance companies? It's Provident Mutual Life on the back end, not Nationwide, and it's not based in America. So Jeffrey Epstein grants himself 10,000 acres of ag land that's highly enriched with uranium. He also grants himself the trademark to Trinity and Oppenheimer. The Apollo affair. There was an Epstein investigated with Schwartz back then. And yes, they were stealing uranium. The Apollo affair. Apollo Global. Everything coming together here. Well, he set up development corporation royalties to go to Israel. A lot. In the billions and billions and billions, if not trillions by now. And China. One of the biggest recipients of the final liquidation. So who hired Jeffrey Epstein? A mega group of investors that include dictators that are now should be known as terrorists. The plot goes way back, like I said, to 1832, but it's really the skull and bones that had a commitment like no other. The goal was to hijack the identities of key Americans that would allow you to take over the United States from within, while replacing their identities. JFK Jr. was one. So was George H. Dunlap and Gladys. And that's me. Cheney amended George H. Dunlap's estate to allow for hazardous waste dumping on U.S. farms, and he would have never wanted that. Not in a million years. The Waters 2001 Financial Technology Congress sounds like it took over Congress. A little bit. Dem Farm Holdings under Little John's, that's the Windsors, a.k.a. Schwartz. They use the Meyer name. Clara Stoner. Yep. And then it's always been the Walkers. Always been the Walkers. But we'll take the trust now. We'll take the trust. We'll take our trademarks too. The Steiner trademarks went under Steiner Electric. And if you look it up, the president is Daniel Lee Stoner. There he is. See, they also trademarked B, which he used to have. Ian, which looks like